Hello, and a very good day to all our Salesforce enthusiasts out there. Welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Force Talks webinar. I am Pooja Roy, your host for today's insightful session. Whether you are tuning in for the first time or you are a regular attendee, we are thrilled to have you with us. Today's topic is not just interesting but pivotal in understanding the intersection of AI and Salesforce. We are diving into a tech mystery: why can't AI generate Salesforce formulas? An intriguing question indeed. So, are you ready to unravel this with us? Let's get started. To guide us through this fascinating subject, we have with us luminary in the Salesforce arena, Eric Praud. Eric is not only a senior Salesforce consultant but also a distinguished Salesforce MVP. His expertise and insights are invaluable, and we are fortunate to have him with us today. Welcome, Eric. It is an honor to have you here.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Pooja, for having me here as well.
Thank you, Eric. So, Eric, the topic today is something that piques the interest of many in our community because we all have seen like AI make leaps in various fields, but Salesforce formulas, it seems to be a tough puzzle here. So, could you shed some light on the core question here? Like, why can't AI currently generate Salesforce formulas? What are your thoughts? Yeah.
There are multiple reasons in my mind, at least, why sales why AI, pardon me, cannot generate Salesforce formulas or cannot generate good Salesforce formulas, I should say.
Right.
Um, to me, the very first reason is it has to do with you, it has to do with the user. The question may not be asked properly, it may be ambiguous. So make sure that you give as much details as you can. Something
Mhm.
as simple as saying that it's a Salesforce formula. If you just ask for a formula, you can get anything.
Right.
But then after the issue is with the AI itself, there's quite a few things. For example, best practices are definitely not followed. It will give you some weird formulas
Mm-hmm.
where you may go over the limits and all. Um, the AI has been trained on a set piece of data. If we
Mm-hmm.
take the most common one, ChatGPT, the 3.5, I think it was trained with data up until 2021, if I remember well.
Yeah.
So it can be missing some newer functions.
True.
One big thing as well, so it is not scrubbed for accuracy, which means that we have, ChatGPT or any AI has got all
Mm-hmm.
this data to sift through, but it doesn't know what's right and what's wrong. So
Exactly.
therefore, it can give you a good answer, but also a wrong answer.
Yeah.
There's a few other things like, it also gives you non-Salesforce functions. One of the
Mm-hmm.
main ones that it gives you is date diff for date difference, which is not a Salesforce function. It may be
Okay.
an Excel function, for example. Um, then my biggest pet peeve, I guess, with AI is that unless you know it's wrong, well, you will take it at face value. It's fine in a way with formulas because at least you can test it. Like first, when you write it, it will maybe give you a few syntax errors, and then after you
Mhm.
can test it. But there are other subjects where it can be very like bad. I
Yeah.
remember a story of a lawyer, I think in the US, who had big
Okay.
problems, nearly got disbarred with ChatGPT. Uh,
Mhm.
long story there. Let's not go there.
Okay.
And finally, Salesforce also says that it's not good.
Yeah.
Maybe a year ago now, on the Answers community, Salesforce wrote a post banning the use of AI to
Mhm.
answer any
Mhm.
questions. And the reason for it is simply because it gives you wrong results. It even
Mhm.
says it on the ChatGPT website, on any AI website. Actually, it should tell you that the data, the results may not be correct.
Correct. Right.
So these are quite a few reasons why AI is not great with Salesforce formulas.
Yeah, that's true. I have also read somewhere that they give you the disclaimer that the answers cannot be trusted always. And as you said that Salesforce itself says that you should not be, using the answers from AI because it is not always correct. So
Mhm.
that's a yeah, fascinating perspective. It sounds like there are, layers of complexity that AI is still grappling with, and certainly that adds a new dimension to our understanding. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. So building on that, Eric, could you give us a deeper dive? Like, what makes Salesforce formulas particularly challenging for AI? Like, how does this impact users and developers in our community? Because they are, these days, many developers are relying on AI, because of
Mhm.
course it is helping us and the developers as well in many ways. So, yeah, but why it is so challenging for AI? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, so there's a few things here. First, as I said, this data set is really the big problem because I would assume that an AI has, formulas for
Mhm.
Excel and formulas that are just common math problems, and they've
Right.
got also Salesforce formulas, and then there's this big black box with AI. We don't really know what happens in there, and
Yeah.
everything gets mashed together, and it
Correct.
just regurgitates something that is some kind of formula, but it doesn't always work. Now, I've
Yeah.
got to be honest here. We can see that the AI is also learning because I see that sometimes I had issues with a
Mhm.
formula,
Mhm.
with an AI formula, and
Mhm.
now asking the same question, and now get a proper formula. So
Mhm.
you can see that the AI is continuously learning,
Learning.
but
Right.
still not there for the moment.
Yeah. But do you think that in the future, maybe not like in long term future, but in coming days, it will learn a lot and it will definitely help us maybe sometimes, or
Yeah,
like
yeah, I do believe it will eventually. I don't know about the coming days. I'd say the coming maybe years. I'm not too
years?
sure, obviously,
True.
but I genuinely think that it will get a lot better, and we will
Yeah.
get probably AIs that are more geared towards Salesforce in particular. Like, at the moment, the AIs that we use are very generalistic. I think we would need
Yeah.
one that's maybe more geared towards Salesforce only.
Right, right, right. That's actually a very valuable perspective. It highlights not just, I guess, the technical barriers, but also the practical implications because you are someone who has been, dealing with these and in your experience that where it actually affects a lot. So, yeah. So now, Eric, we are all excited to see these concepts in action. I am very excited to see how it works. So, could you walk us through a live demo? Our audience is
Of
eager
course.
to see how these challenges play out in real time. Yeah,
Sure, I'd be happy to. Let me
yeah,
present my screen.
sure. Yeah.
All right, you should be able to see my screen.
Yes, yes, it is visible to us.
All right, so I did just a little bit of setup before this call.
Okay.
So I have a contact here with a birth date, and here I created a formula called Age AI because I'm
Yeah.
going to ask the AI to create a formula to calculate the age of my contact. At the moment, I've
Okay.
just put a one just because I needed to put something in the formula. So don't worry about
Mhm.
this number.
Okay, cool.
So now I went to ChatGPT, and this is what I asked. I need a Salesforce formula to calculate
Yeah.
a contact's age.
Yeah.
Simple enough, and it's a simple enough formula. So here's ChatGPT tells me, here's a formula, and we'll get to it in a minute. There's plenty of mistakes here. But one thing I also want to show you is um, right here, this last paragraph. It is full of errors. So not only the formula is wrong, but this is
Mm-hmm.
full of errors. It says Salesforce doesn't have a direct function to calculate the age. So this formula is a workaround. So it's true, Salesforce doesn't have a direct function to calculate the age, but it's not a workaround to use case and year, whatever. It's just you're writing a formula. I don't call it a workaround. But the worst is this bit. Keep in mind that formula fields are not dynamic. That is so wrong. That is actually the whole point of a formula. It is dynamic. It won't automatically update when the record is changed? Well, yes, it will. You
Mm-hmm.
may need to perform a data update or use a trigger to update the age field being the formula field. You can never update a formula field. It is a read-only field. The only way you can update it is by changing the formula itself. So a data update or trigger will never work. So just there, you already see that it gives you quite a few wrong answers.
Wrong answers.
And now let's have a look at the formula. And this is just a crazy formula. I genuinely do not understand it.
Okay.
Um, this is not how you use a case function. Like the case function is one expression and then,
Mm-hmm.
a result, like a condition and then a result. This is not an expression. It just says, I assume it wants to say if the month of today, so today we are in November, so if
Mm-hmm.
number 11 minus, so the month of the birth date, if we look at my contact, oh, pardon, it's here, so it's 12, the month is 12. Okay, so if if 11 minus 12, and then nothing, if 11 minus 12, what? I mean, there's a lot of mistakes here. And then
Yeah.
eventually it just lets me go with the year of today, so 2023 minus the year of the birth date. And here I did a little trick, very simple trick. I put the year of the birth date in 2000, just so it's very easy to calculate. But you see, it's in December. So this person is not 23 years old yet. I wish it was
Yeah.
me. I know it's not my name. Believe me, I'm a lot older than that. This person is only 22 at the moment. But if I take this formula, it will return 23. So there's
Yeah.
many mistakes here. Now, if I'm a newbie in Salesforce, I don't know there are mistakes. I'm just going to copy the
True.
code, go to my formula, that's here, and
Okay.
just paste it. Okay?
Okay.
Let's have a bit of fun and let's click on check syntax. Oh, sorry. Apologies. I'll give that one
Mm-hmm.
to ChatGPT. It tells me here to replace the field with the actual API name of the field. The actual,
Okay.
I should have done that. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
Is birth date without the underscore C. So this one is a user error. It's not
Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT error.
ChatGPT error. Right.
Let's try that again. And now it gives me yes that there's a problem with the case function. So
Yeah.
all right, let's copy the error message and talk to ChatGPT.
Okay.
All right, and let's try to get the right formula.
Yeah.
It returns oops, an error saying, I'm going to go like this. Oops, yes, like that. By the way, the API name of my field is birth date, just so it does everything in one go.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
press enter and see what ChatGPT says. Okay. Oh, well, it's a lot better. I apologize for the oversight. It seems I made an error in the formula. Let's simplify the formula for calculating the age. Um, this formula checks if the birthday field is not blank, and it divides by 365.25. Okay, that actually could work, to be perfectly
Okay.
fair, but let's try it.
Yeah.
But you see, it went from this to something
Mm-hmm.
completely different.
Yeah.
Check the
Absolutely.
syntax. And it's working. Okay, so let's save it and see if it gives me the right age. It should give me 22. You remember because I was born,
Yeah.
this contact was born in December 2000, so he's not 23 yet. Let me refresh this page. And it is working. It
There it
seems to
is.
be working. Let's just try a different date, so something before
Mm-hmm.
the 17th. So now this person should be 23. Oh, sorry, my bad. I didn't. I stayed in December.
Change
So
the
let's
year.
say
Yeah.
in November, and they are
It's
23. It
23.
is good. However, if this the year 1900, for example, was not a leap year, and this
Mm-hmm.
I know that this 0.25 will do should screw things over. So let's try it.
Mm-hmm.
1900. So this person should be 123 years old. Okay, that seems to be working.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see a date. So in December, it is working. Okay,
Yeah.
ChatGPT was right. But you see, I had to, there was a big
Yeah.
error. Now,
Probably with the multiple tries, maybe explaining it more to ChatGPT and having with multiple tries, then you will find, I guess, it will give you right answer, right? Maybe
yes,
with
yes,
multiple tries, yeah,
uh, probably. But you see, if you were a newbie, so okay, you could
yeah,
get
of
this
course,
to work. But this is actually quite bad to say that you cannot, you have to update the things. It doesn't change. I mean, I showed you that it was dynamic. As soon
yeah,
as I changed the birth date, it
absolutely,
changed. And there are multiple errors. Here's
yeah,
another one that I tried with giving me a formula on opportunity products
mhm,
when the opportunity stage is new and all. And here it tells me that it's not possible. So to
not
create
possible,
the formula on opportunities, I know because I have enough
yeah,
experience. I know I
exactly,
can do it. A newbie
exactly,
wouldn't. And these
yeah.
are all my problems that I have with ChatGPT.
Exactly my point. You have been doing this, so you know that where the actual problem is occurring. But someone who does not know and who is trying for the first time or maybe newbie will of course get these things. And also, I think this one was not a very tricky one. It was the easy one, and then still it needed a multiple tries, and then it gave the answers for the tricky questions. I think it cannot be trusted at all.
hmm
Yeah.
Now, I agreed. And, I did some other tries and I didn't want to do a demo that was too long. I did some tries with some formulas and it took over like 10 times of back and forth messages between
Right.
ChatGPT and myself before I got a formula that actually worked.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
again, because I have enough experience to know that it was wrong, but
Exactly.
sometimes you will not have that experience. So take whatever AI gives you for, or at least for Salesforce Formula, take it with a big pinch of salt.
Yes, yes, that was actually quite a revealing demo and absolutely help us all in understanding the points in very much better way, It really puts things into perspective. So yeah, thank you so much, Eric, for the demo.
Thank
So
you.
yeah. Moving forward for our aspiring Salesforce professionals, and I would like to understand how can one achieve better results when grappling with Salesforce formulas. Like you have been now doing these things in your professional life as well. So what are some strategies? You of course have come up with some best practices, because you said that you have been doing the a lot of back and forth messages. You have to do it, and then you might will get the somewhere correct answers. So, can you share some strategies or best practice to best handle these formulas? In light of these AI limitations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. So, I mean, it recoups what I was talking about at the very beginning. First, make sure your questions are very clear and very
Yeah.
precise. Something
Yeah.
that a lot of people forget is just to add the word Salesforce. I need a Salesforce formula. Not
Oh.
I just need a formula for my
Oh.
contact or
Yeah.
whatever. Okay. So make sure your questions are specific and very clear.
Mm-hmm.
Then make sure you also provide context as much, try to help AI to help you.
Okay.
If you have specific fields or specific scenarios, make sure you write all that. Otherwise, you're going to go into a rabbit hole, and it's going to be very hard to get out of it.
Yeah.
Make sure you're very conversational with ChatGPT or any AI. I always say ChatGPT, but I mean AI in general. As you saw, when I had an error, I copied and pasted the error, and I explain, okay, here's the API name of my field, and
Mm-hmm.
here's the error I'm getting. Like, act as if it was a human in front of you, so you can be conversational.
Mm-hmm.
Here on the slides, there's point number 4. That's actually very important, and we kept on saying it, that you need to have, if you have knowledge, it will help you a lot, because
Of
you'll be
course.
able to figure out that there's a mistake. I mean, bear in mind that the formulas I showed here, you could test them straight away, but there are some formulas that may be depending on the year that you're in, or
Mm-hmm.
or the month, and maybe it's a month, like 6 months in the future, and you won't see that there is an error until you get there.
Yeah.
So if you have the knowledge, that will help. Always remember, always have it in the back of your mind that AI is fallible. it will give you, you know that it can give you wrong answers. Remember that. Do
Mhm.
not trust it with, do not trust it 100%. So
100%.
on this same topic, make sure you test your formula. And when I say test, I mean test it 200 times if you have to, but think about every single scenario. Have it tested by somebody else also, just to make
Yeah.
sure that the formula actually works.
Yeah, those are actually some very actionable tips because developers these days are kind of relying on AI very much. Not just with Salesforce, I have also seen with other technologies as
Of
well. We
course,
keep on going to AI and we keep on, trusting these formulas. But of course, that is a very important thing you said. Of course, test it, ask people, and there are, we have this community of Salesforce available everywhere, the answer community and the trailhead as well. We can always, we have experts like you to help us. So of course, that I would say that we can go ahead and rely on AI to learn something, but always, go ahead and ask people for valuable tips like you shared. So I'm pretty sure that our audience can definitely benefit from these strategies in their day-to-day Salesforce challenges. So
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, 100% with you there, Pooja.
Yeah. So my next question, Eric, is now by looking towards the future, how do you see AI evolving in this space? What advancements, we can anticipate in AI's capability to handle Salesforce formulas better? Yeah.
Yeah. So let's think about a little bit about the history of AI, and very little. But I remember back in the 90s and probably even before then, where we already were talking about AI. I
Yeah.
remember, I'm old enough to remember the first time a computer beat a human, like the world champion in chess, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that was back in the 90s, and that was the kind of the beginning of AI, pardon. And
Mm-hmm.
then from the 90s up till a couple of years ago, maybe last year even, we didn't really hear about AI. I mean, it was there for some very specific scenarios.
Yeah.
And then, now we used AI for COVID vaccines. We, like,
Oh,
ChatGPT was huge, like, as in, it
yes.
just came and became very popular because it was accessible to everyone. So just
Yeah.
think of all, like, how AI has started from pretty much nothing, then
Yeah.
ended up beating, like, the world champion in chess. And now, we're creating vaccines, with
Yeah.
it. So the technology will only get better. And
Mhm.
we are definitely, like, in the age of AI. It is the beginning of the age of AI. So it will get better. I have no problem with that. It's evolving
Absolutely.
every day.
Yeah.
The data sets will be refined for sure. As I said, at the moment, when you ask for a formula, I'm sure ChatGPT or any other AI takes formulas from Excel, from Salesforce, etc. And that's why you get a bit a funny one sometimes.
Yeah.
And also, Salesforce is going all in. I mean, we've all seen the last Dreamforce, where it was all about AI. Basically,
It
like
was all about
90%
AI.
of it, if not 95%, was
Yeah.
AI. Okay, this word has been repeated over and over again for the
Yeah. It was
past 2 days.
marketed saying that AI event of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, well, exactly. There you
Yeah.
go. And also, on the Answers community, there was a post by a product manager at Salesforce
Yeah.
asking anybody, what, how would you like AI to work with Salesforce formulas? What would you like it to do? Like, and he was talking about, yes, there you go. That is the screenshot here.
Yeah.
Generating formula using natural language and so on. So that Salesforce is working on it.
Yeah.
And this recoups also what I said at the big early on, that
Hmm.
this AI will be specific to Salesforce. So this AI
Okay.
will, will be a lot better than what's out there at the moment, because it will be specifically geared towards Salesforce.
What says who? Are we talking about the Einstein GPT here, maybe?
Yes. I mean, I'm not too sure, to be
Okay.
perfectly honest here. I'm looking at this message, and
Yeah.
yes, I mean that would be an Einstein GPT kind of thing. That's what I assume, because generating a formula using natural language. Basically, it's generative AI. So
Yeah, generative AI. They're still, I guess, Salesforce is still taking out more things in this generative AI and Einstein GPT. They're still deciding on whether, what would be the best way to put forward to the Salesforce generation. So yeah,
agreed,
so
agreed. So let's see. Like, the future is bright with AI.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's a very inspiring vision, Eric. It is like really exciting to think about the potential advancements and how they could, revolutionize the approach to Salesforce. It was like, of course.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I
Eric,
mean, I'm very excited about the future, to be fair.
yeah, and I'm like very excited about this generative AI thing as well because I'm pretty sure we can, will be able to do a lot with this AI, which Salesforce is coming up with. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, Eric, it has been an absolute pleasure, and your insights today have been nothing short of enlightening. But I would definitely want you to let us know, like, how our community over here at Force Talks and Salesforce people who would like to connect to you and maybe help, maybe need some help with formulas or anything about Salesforce. How can we reach out to you? Yeah, if you can share some words of your wisdom with us.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the best way to reach out to me is either LinkedIn. You can find me, Eric Praud. Look for, bald guy with a beard. And but also, like, also if you have questions, pardon me, go to the Salesforce Answers community. I am
Oh.
very active on it. There's plenty of people that are very active on it. So if you have questions, may they be formula or other things,
Mhm.
Salesforce related, do not hesitate to reach out to the community. I'll try my best to answer, but other people are there also to answer, and more than likely you'll solve your issue.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Eric. And with that, we conclude another thrilling session at Force Talks. A huge thank you to Eric for enlightening us with your insightful knowledge.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you.
To our audience, we hope this session has added valuable insights to your Salesforce journey. Keep exploring, keep learning, and remember, Force Talks is your go to community for all things Salesforce. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today.